Gamers want refunds for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Short, sweet, and to the point. I like it. Greetings once again, my friends, and welcome back to the GNRO Minicast, where I take a particular article or a particular topic that's going on in a given month, and I go over it myself and give my opinions. I'm your host, Adam Mickelson, aka Drak. I hope everybody's having an awesome day or night when you're listening to this. And this article comes to us from clownfishtv.com, so make sure to go and support them. You can also support the Clownfish YouTube channel. But I've also gotten a few people asking me what I thought about the controversy surrounding Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. For those who don't know, Suicide Squad is basically the next Rocksteady game based in the DC universe. More importantly, the Batman universe. They are the people who've been making the Batman Arkham games and now have released Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So let's go ahead and get into this, shall we? The launch of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has stirred a whirlwind of controversy, disappointment, and a staggering demand for refunds, painting a tumultuous picture for what was one of the most anticipated games of the year. Developed by Rocksteady Studios, known for their critically acclaimed Batman Arkham series, this game promised to bring the same level of polish and engaging gameplay to the table. I don't know if I would necessarily believe that. I have played up until Arkham Origins, and I would say that Arkham Origins was not very good. I would say that Arkham Asylum and Arkham City were very good, but from what I understand, after Arkham Origins, the quality gets worse from there, but I'll find that out in my own due course. Instead, early access players encountered a host of problems that led to an unprecedented 791% surge in refund searches. Holy crap! That's not good, Rocksteady. Okay, we got a winner here, boys and girls. Let's go ahead and get into it. At the heart of the backlash is a game-breaking bug. So I love their headlines too on Clownfish. This is actually really well written. Technical turbulence and a buggy start. So at the heart of the backlash is a game-breaking bug discovered shortly after the game's early access launch. This bug grants players 100% completion of the game without even having to play through it, locking them out of all story missions and tutorials. Yeah, that's a game-breaking bug right there. Rocksteady, methinks you haven't tested this as well as you think you have. All right. This effectively made the game unplayable, a critical hit to the game's reputation right out of the gate. Yeah, no kidding. That is broken on an unprecedented scale. A departure from tradition. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League marks a significant departure from Rocksteady's traditional single-player story-driven format, opting instead for an always online model. Oh, this is already going so well. This shift was met with skepticism and concern from fans who cherished the narrative depth and solo playability of the Arkham series, which I would agree with. Like, the first two games had a lot of really good narrative depth. Origin suffered from that at least a little bit, in my opinion. The controversy was further amplified by the game's pricing, particularly the deluxe edition required for early access, which carried a hefty $100 price tag. No thank you. No way would I pay $100 for early access for a game that is already going to be a significant departure. I can already tell you, if I paid for the deluxe edition and found out that it wasn't going to be the Arkham games that I love, I would immediately want a refund. I'm not even kidding there. I would want a refund because it's not the game that I wanted to play. Critical reception and publisher relations. The game's early access period did not fare well with critics either. Major gaming outlets, including IGN, voiced their dissatisfaction openly, leading to Warner Brothers reportedly withholding review copies from them in retaliation. Yeah, I can understand why they did it in this case. I do think that they were in the... it's a gray matter. Like, because this comes back to the Nintendo Kotaku situation where they withheld copies of, I think it was Tears of the Kingdom, so that Kotaku, and I think it was just Kotaku or maybe a few other outlets, they couldn't review it and they decided to go all poo-poo on it. And Nintendo did it obviously for good reason here. I do think in this case, however, Warner Brothers, you could make the argument that they did it for bad reasons, because maybe they already knew they had a turd on their hands and they really just didn't want it known to people. Because it sounds to me like maybe if via early access we knew about a lot of this stuff, Warner Brothers was already in defensive mode. So I get where some people can make a 50-50, but I'm going to say that Warner Brothers is definitely in the wrong over this one. They should not have done that. This unusual step has raised questions about the transparency and confidence in the game's quality, contributing to the negative reception. That being said, I'm still a proponent of review copies not being done anymore. And we even have in the article, we have the IGN tweet, we won't have a review of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, Rocksteady's new game, as a service looter shooter, as codes have not been sent to reviewers ahead of time. Oh, poor babies. And this is the reason that people wanted me to look into this. The Kevin Conroy controversy and Batman's fate. Let's find out what this is. Another layer to the tumults surrounding Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is the poignant controversy involving the late Kevin Conroy, rest in peace. Revered for his iconic voice role as Batman across various media for over 3 decades, still the best Batman as far as I'm concerned. The game's narrative choice regarding Batman's fate has ignited a firestorm among fans and critics alike, especially considering this marks one of Conroy's final performances as the Dark Knight following his passing in 2022. Leaked details from the game suggested a grim end for Batman, portrayed by Conroys, culminating in a scene where Harley Quinn, one of the titular Suicide Squad members, fatally confronts him. Oh, okay. This narrative choice has been met with a mix of shock, disappointment, and speculation regarding its appropriateness as a capstone to Conroy's legendary tenure. Fans have expressed concern over whether this dark turn respects the actor's legacy and the character he brought to life for so many years. So I guess you can have a choice to kill Batman in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Oh, and there is actually a video clip.
Hours pass.
Okay, so I've watched it, and I have a 50-50 reaction to this. I mean, this game is based around the Suicide Squad, and could I totally see, given some events in the Arkham games, that Harley is the one that ultimately does him in? I could see it, but I also have a butt ton of questions in regards to that, like, because he's basically, because I'm guessing a lot of people have seen this, he's basically executed by Harley. How did you get him tied up like that? How did you get him into that execution pose? And how did all this come forth? I would not know unless I actually play the game, which probably either isn't going to happen or at minimum isn't going to happen for a long while. So, do I think it's besmirching Kevin Conroy's legacy? No, not really. And the reason being is that, yes, he has made Batman a household name. His animated series portrayal, as well as his various other portrayals, have really put the Dark Knight on the radar for a lot of people. But to say that it spoils his legacy, even Kevin Conroy, if he was alive today, would have looked us all in the eye and went, you know, eventually Bruce does die. You know that, right? He doesn't necessarily have to die with the cowl on his face, but he can die. I mean, for crying out loud, Kevin Conroy played older Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond, so eventually, like, old age would claim Bruce. So I don't know if it's necessarily besmirching him. Is it too soon? Maybe. It may be too soon. I'm not necessarily upset by what they did with it because, well, I mean, it's the DC universe and this is just one interpretation. I do think that hardcore Batman fans would have the same questions that I have, which is that how on earth did this situation even get set up? And maybe they have the answers and I don't. But to say that this is besmirching the late Kevin Conroy's legacy, no, because given the performance that he gives in the clip that I've seen, he's still being Batman up until the end. So at that point, I don't know if I would say that it's besmirching his legacy. The search for refunds. The aftermath of the launch saw a massive spike in searches for refunds. As reported by analytics firm McCluck, this 791% surge reflects a deep sense of buyer's remorse and raises concerns about the game's future. Spoiler alert, it has none. Players looking to get their money back face uncertainty as refund policies vary across platforms like Steam and Xbox, and it's not guaranteed that refunds will be issued beyond the usual usage periods, which that's going to be a real big deal if if this execution scene is why you are asking for a refund, because who knows if it's like, I think Steam's policy is like if you're less than 2 hours in, then yes, a refund is possible, but let's just say that happens at 6 hours, then you wouldn't be able to get a refund on Steam. However, I have a feeling that this is going to result in a massive backlash on those platforms, and also going to be hitting Rocksteady, and that is going to hurt Rocksteady in the end, because eventually Steam could cave and say, well, yeah, I mean, the reviews are not great, so we can amend our policy because of this. Because it's Steam's platform, they can do what they want. Same thing if it's on the Epic Games platform, they can do what they want in terms of the refund policy. Do they have to approach Rocksteady on it? I believe they do, but they're going to give a very valid reason why they're going to be giving the refunds. So I don't see Rocksteady being able to fight it. If anything, this is going to hurt Rocksteady way more than those other platforms. The road ahead. Despite these challenges, some players and critics have found elements to praise, such as the combat loop and the voice acting. However, the overwhelming issues at launch have overshadowed these positives, leaving Rocksteady with the formidable task of addressing these concerns swiftly to salvage the game's reputation, which is basically what they're going to be doing from here on in. They are 100% in damage control mode. As the dust settles, the gaming community waits to see how Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will navigate through these turbulent waters. The controversy serves as a stark reminder of the challenges and expectations that come with high-profile game launches, emphasizing the importance of quality, player feedback, and clear communication between developers and their audience. And so the source for this is actually from Yahoo News, and thank you so much for that, but thank you to Cloudfish TV, because the insight that is being given here is, in my opinion, very valuable. As to my opinion on this, yeah, that's a lot going wrong with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which actually, like, when I saw the initial trailer, I thought it was an interesting direction to go, because you can only go with Batman for so long, especially with how these Arkham games are going, which is very, very dark. So you would eventually have to get another property. And I remember some people, like, there was a speculation that they were going to get the Harry Potter game. They didn't really get that. But the fact that they got the Suicide Squad means that they can kind of continue on in this universe, but from a different perspective, and it actually might work. Especially, I guess the premise of this is they had the Suicide Squad game to kind of counteract the Deus Ex developer getting the Guardians of the Galaxy game, and that they might be able to do a better job than people feel that the Deus Ex developer did with Guardians. I don't know. I haven't played that all the way through. Gee, it's almost like I have a backlog or something. So my opinion is this is not good overall. Does it mean that I'm going to be playing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? If anything, I was going to be playing it way later anyway, so if I was going to be playing it, I'd probably take a lot of this with a grain of salt. Or I'd take buying it with a grain of salt and make sure that it was extremely discounted before I did it. But as to the controversy surrounding Kevin Conroy, I don't know if I'm on board with everybody. I don't know if it's destroying his legacy at all, because ultimately he had to decide to be able to do it. And I have a feeling that he's been voicing this character for so long that his input would be valued. And as far as I can tell, he was okay with this. So I don't know if it's necessarily destroying his legacy. His legacy is cemented in Batman the Animated Series. It's cemented in Batman Mask of the Phantasm, Batman Beyond, Justice League Unlimited. It's all there. So it's not necessarily besmirching that. He portrayed the character to the bitter end, as far as I'm concerned. But that's my opinions on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And if you're brand spanking new, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help us out. And we will be back next time for the next GNRO Minicast. Again, thank you so much to clownfishtv.com for the article. We really do appreciate it. And we will see you guys next time.